back to my channel. Sass here. I'm here for another recap of Life After Lockup, child. Last night's episode was a doozy. It was pretty good, but I was thinking next week is the season finale, but the season finale is going to be in 2 weeks. Okay, so y'all know they were on hiatus, so they come back, child. I get to you know who in a minute. What y'all think about the episode? Let's start off with Puppy and Amber. As you know, Puppy is let's get married. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. Honey. Eric done proposed by text to Puppy. Puppy said yes, honey. So Puppy, Amber, and Puppy's mom is looking for wedding dresses. I will say this. Puppy looked nice in those wedding dresses. I liked the first wedding dress she had on. But that other wedding dress she put on, it looked nice too. She looked nice in those wedding dresses. Now, as y'all know, she has a warrant. She is a fugitive, child, because of her residency. Like I said before, this is so dumb. She could have got this thing squashed. But now it's done led to her, because she didn't want to handle it. It's done led to her, you know, being wanted. So while she's trying on dresses, Puppy, Amber, and her mom are talking about Eric. And so here comes Puppy, was like, what y'all talking about? Y'all don't like Eric? You don't want me to marry Eric? Y'all talking about my warrant? And so they're like, yes, we're talking about the warrant because you can still get it taken care of. Amber was like, listen, okay, I talked to my PO, which talked to a chief, and you need to contact these people. And you need to go ahead and take care of this. Go ahead and turn yourself in. You don't know what may happen. They may squash it. And so while she's trying on wedding dresses, the mom and Amber is trying to tell her what she should do, you know, in order not to go to jail. And so Puppy was like, man, why don't y'all shut up? Y'all are ruining my day. This is my day. I don't want to hear about no warrant. I don't want to hear about no fugitive. The only thing I'm worried about is getting this dress and how I look in this dress. Honey, did you see how she was standing in the dress? She kept cupping her boobies. And so they're like, well, how do you feel? You know, and she was like, I don't know. I ain't never done this before. I feel kind of weird. But I understand where Amber and her mom was coming from. But I also understand what Puppy was saying. Okay, look, I got a warrant. I'm wanted. Ain't too much I can do about it now. I just want to have this time without thinking about paperwork. But then I understand, you know, Amber, her mom, are worried about it. It's like, listen, okay, the longer you wait, the worse it's going to be. And Amber had already said that if she would have talked to somebody beforehand, it never would have been a warrant. So she goes back to Eric's house. Now, y'all, I have a question. Why was Eric sitting there with knee-high stockings on? Did y'all see them thighs? And one of them looked very feminine and lace. Now, the other ones look like those tights that athletes wear, like those compression tights. Eric ain't no athlete. Why did he have on two different? They look like two different ones. One looked like it was see-through and had some type of lace to it. Well, not lace, but see-through with a design. I said, was that a thigh high? Eric, why you sitting there with a thigh high on? With a stocking? I need answers. So she sat down and she was like, you know, I went wedding dress shopping. He was like, well, how did that go? And she was like, well, Amber and my mom wants me to turn myself in. And so he was like, what? He was like, why don't they turn their own self in? Okay? Why don't they turn their own self in? She was like, yeah, I know. She was like, I don't want to go back to prison. But she said, if the cops pull up right now, I'm going to jail. He was like, is the cops here? Cops ain't here. Okay? Don't even worry about that. The cops ain't here. And so Puppy was like, listen, that's all I worried about. And she was like, I ain't never been in this position before where I have somebody, you know, engaged to somebody, and here I am with a warrant. I may go back to jail. And so he was like, listen, I've been in this position, all right? I've been in this position. I've been in jail, had somebody on the outside, and it was hard, okay? There's some trust issues that take effect, honey. It's very hard to be on the outside and then you be on the inside. It's just hard. So he don't want Puppy to, you know, turn herself in. But Puppy, she just don't know, you know, what to do. So, child, let's move on. Let's talk about Ray, honey. Grandma Ray done made an appearance. Grandma Ray done came in with some groceries, child. Grandma Ray said it looked like you've been eating. Ray said, are you calling me fat? And so she was like, so Grandma Ray is just getting the lowdown of what's been going on between him and Brittany. And he talked about going to Miami. And so Grandma Ray said, now listen here now, don't you be going down to Miami and cutting up. She don't want to get no phone call saying that you back in prison or arrested. So he was saying how, you know, he has to talk to his PO and, you know, all this bunch of stuff. So it looks like that they are, the way it sounds like that they are on their way to Miami, child. So Brittany got her way. And so Grandma Ray was just asking about their future. You're going to get married. You're going to have kids. And so the grandma brought up, you know, a promise ring. Because Ray is still unsure about that. So the grandma said, well, what about a promise ring? Okay? It's not really an engagement ring, but you are promising her something. So Grandma Ray, the way she was talking, she sounded like that she was all aboard, you know, with Brittany and Ray being together. He says that, you know, he done met the parents and Brittany's mom, and, you know, she was like, well, you know, how did that go? And he was like, well, you know, it was pretty cool. And she was like, listen, I'm pretty sure that mama thinks of Brittany as her baby, just like I think of you as my baby. So Grandma Ray, she really wasn't bashing Brittany or anything. The way she was talking, whatever makes Ray happy, she's all aboard, you know, on it. But she was questioning him going to, you know, Miami. But Ray is still hesitant. Ray is still hesitant because, you know, there's a ring, there's a trip, there's a child. And he was like, listen, my bank account ain't like their bank account, ain't like her bank account. So, you know, money is still an issue. And so he's still unsure if, you know, he wants to go all in with Brittany. But it sure was good seeing Grandma Ray. It sure was good, honey. She was cooking, child. She was cooking up something. Let's move on. Let's talk about Shawn and Sarah, child. Shawn, he's there to meet Sarah's mama. Now, we know Sarah's mama don't like Shawn. Not one bit. She don't want Sarah to live with Shawn. She definitely don't want Sarah to marry Shawn. So she don't like Shawn. She said that Shawn ain't quite right. So it's time to go look for rings. And so the mama was like, why am I here? And so he was like, listen, you know, I'm proposing to Sarah, and I want you to help me look for rings. And she was like, what? She was like, I don't know about all this. I'm not quite quite sure. So, begrudgingly, she goes into the little ring shop. I was like, not an escalator. It looked like a nice ring shop. I was like, that ain't Zales. That ain't Jared. So it looked like a real nice little jewelry store. So he's looking at the ring. The woman is showing, you know, the rings. And then here comes the mama out of nowhere. I don't like this. I don't like this. You got 6 kids in the middle of the store. And so he was like, it's okay. She was like, it ain't okay. You got 6 kids and the baby mama that you don't want to talk about. She said, something ain't right. You got 6 kids. And he was like, it's okay. This is totally different. This is different. She said, this ain't right. She said, I don't like this. She said, I'm getting up out of here. So the mama take her feet to the street. And so Shawn is like, wait a minute, please, just wait a minute. She said, don't you come near me. She said, don't come near me. And I was like, well, just 5 seconds ago, you were looking at rings. The whole thing was weird how they edited. And what about that worker? What about the jewelry woman? The jewelry woman was like, I'm going to step on over here. Y'all call me if you need me. I bet you she went up there and was like, now I know they ain't cutting up in my stuff. Or where I work. So, Sarah's mom, she leaves in the huff and the puff. And Shawn is standing there looking stupid as usual. And then her mama's going to find out next week on the season finale that Sarah is pregnant. Ooh, child. She ain't going to like that one bit. Not one bit. Hi, Sarah's mom. Mama Sarah. Number 7. Let's move on. Now, let's talk about Kristianna. This ain't going to be long. Kristianna, she got a job. Amen? Amen. Kristianna got her a job, child. She said ain't nothing to it but to do it. So Kristianna has a job and she got a whole lot on her plate. She's married to non-Native American John. That's 1. 2, her mom has cancer. That's 2. And she's worried about her sister, Tara. She thinks that her sister is back to using. So she's stressed. She got a whole lot, you know, that she's thinking about. Child, her family, child. So she's talking to a co-worker and she's just letting it out. Everything is coming up. Like throw up. Everything is coming up, okay? She's talking about the mama being sick, and then she's talking about the sister, and she's talking about her sobriety. Kristianna's going through it. I know it must be stressful. So her co-worker, she was, you know, very kind, and, you know, she was a listening ear, and her co-worker was saying that, you know, she's, you know, sober now, that she had, you know, in addiction, but now she's sober. I think she's been sober for 4 years, and child, she was a good listening ear. So Kristianna, she gets upset. She was crying, snot flying, child. Then we seen the preview for next week, and honey, what's going on between her and John? Y'all know how they like to be tricksters, those Life After Lockup producers. But what's going on with her and John, child? Child, that's all I got for Kristianna. Wasn't nothing going on. Child, let's talk about Latino Heat and Brittany. This ain't gonna take long either. As y'all know, Brittany, daddy, well, her stepdad, who raised her, Latino Heat wanted him to come and visit so he could spend time with Brittany and the kids, so Latino Heat and Brittany can have them a little mini honeymoon, child, because, honey, they needed some time to themselves. Okay? So he shows up and Brittany's telling him, you know what? I really didn't want you to come and see me like this because, honey, things had just been going south. And I didn't want you to be disappointed in me. So the dad was sitting there. They were talking and she brought up the email that she got from her real listen, I don't know too much about him, but from what I heard, he wasn't no count. From what I heard, he wasn't no count. And so Brittany says, now listen, okay? You go by what Mama said. Mama and him were teenagers, okay? They both were cutting the shine. And my mama wasn't much better. What about when Brittany said that her mama wasn't much better? She said that her mama was a piece of crap herself. But see, her mama was also an addict. And she was drinking alcohol. And her mama comes from a hot mess mama. So she was saying that she thinks that her mama is keeping her real dad from her. There's a reason that her mama kept them apart for all these years. But Brittany's mom said that her dad is a piece of crap. Now, it sounds like to me Brittany's mama and the daddy wasn't no count, child. Brittany's mom wasn't no kind of mom. But like Brittany said, they were teenagers out there getting high and drinking. They weren't thinking about Brittany or whoever else. So the dad is there and her sisters come over and honey, it's time for Latino Heat and Brittany have them a little vacation. So they go over to this ranch and they go horseback riding. There's a little teepee. There's a little campfire. And listen, Latino Heat and Brittany just have them a nice old talk, child. I have said this. Brittany and Latino Heat is the best couple in Love After Lockup franchise. Brittany and Latino Heat needs to get off this show. There's no need for them to be on this show. I think they will do well to, off of the show. They already doing well. But I just don't like seeing them on the show. They better than this show. Y'all be a happy couple and raise them youngins. Child, honey, they made that TP tilt, honey. I said, Latino, he said, let's get up in here. I'm all for it. So anyway, that's Latino Heat and Brittany. Now let's get to the main event. Last and certainly least, child. We got Daonte, Tara, and Nicole, the trio fool. It's wedding day. Let's get married. So we have Nicole crying, snot flying, child. And we have Tia. Did I say Tara? Tia. And so Tia was like, look, do you want to get married today or not? Nicole crying. She said that her anxiety done flared up, child. She don't know what to do. So Tia was like, listen, okay, I love you. I want to get married to you, but not like this. Today's our wedding day. And so Nicole says, I do want to marry you. I do want to marry you, but my anxiety is tore up. You sick? You got to have this surgery? She said, whew, this is a lot. So Tia is worried about Nicole not wanting to get married. So they worried about that. And then we have Daonte. Now, the Life After Lockup producers just had to do this because you know they shady boots. Daonte is in his bathroom, honey, fresh out the shower, child. He got a towel around his waist, honey. I said, not Daonte giving body. I said, Daonte, you giving body. You and your etch and sketch tattoos. Y'all say, Daonte, why you got a Public Enemy tattoo and an NWA tattoo, child, on your little body, child? Honey, Daonte said, I'm going to show you. Daonte said, look at the abs. Daonte in his boxer briefs. I said, okay. And honey, Daonte wanted us to see his package. Daonte, are you trying to show us your little bulge? If you don't go somewhere and sit down. So Daonte's standing at this wedding. Because, see, in his mind, he thinks that Tia is hurting Nicole. That's what he thinks. Tia ain't hurting that girl. Tia is not hurting Nicole. If anything, Nicole will probably be the one hurting Tia. I think there's some substance issues going on there. But there's no proof of that. So let me shut up. So we know Daonte wants to go to this wedding and embarrass himself even more. So Daonte's in the bathroom, baby. He brushing his hair. He getting clean with it. I will say this. Daonte wasn't ashy. Oh, no, ma'am. Daonte was clean, wasn't he? He was shining. I said, no, you didn't. I said, what you use, Daonte? Did you use some cocoa butter? Daonte said, you ain't gonna catch me on this camera, ashy. So Daonte brushing his hair, child, got on his little bossa briefs, honey. He done sprayed a little cool water, and he said, I'm gonna get clean. Daonte done pulled out a crushed groove suit. I said, not burgundy crushed velvet. Daonte, where'd you get that suit from? Where'd you get the suit from? I said, no, you ain't standing there with the bow tie and the crushed groove suit. See, that ain't no Suit City suit. He done got that jacket from somewhere. But then, instead of him getting black shoes, Daonte done went down to somebody's shop and bought him some I Dream of Jeannie shoes. I said, Daonte, if you don't go somewhere and sit down with them slip and slide slippers on. I said, not the slip and slides. Daonte, where you get them shoes from? Back behind somebody's barber shop. Y'all know them shops where you can buy 3 CDs for $9.99. You can buy a whole movie, honey, bootleg for $5.99, child. That's where he got them shoes. Honey, them shoes were so ugly. I was like, Daonte, it would have looked better with black shoes. Why you out here walking around with the slip and slides? Honey, Daonte was clean though. Daonte was clean though. Daonte said, let me stun on him. I said, Daonte, if you don't go somewhere and walk into a brick wall, child, head first. Daonte put on his sunglasses and he tipped out of that apartment. Child, when I tell you, he was like this. I was like, yeah, we moving on up. I said, come on, George Jefferson. I was like, come on, George. George. Honey, people was clowning. Honey, they said JJ from Good Times, George Jefferson, child, James Brown. Honey, it wasn't nothing James Brown or JJ about him, child. That was George Jefferson all day. So he's clean because his sole purpose is to go and break up this wedding. Because in his mind, that's what Nicole wants. So he gets into his vehicle. You know, the one that don't have the hubcap? He got 3 hubcaps. Daonte, where the other hubcap at? You ain't fixed that yet. So he's going down the road. Meanwhile, Tia, she putting on her suit. She putting the gel in her hair. She done spritz on somebody's, Bath and Body Works. Probably coconut milk. Or who am I fooling? is worried that Nicole is not going to show up. Meanwhile, Nicole is in the bathroom with her mama and some other woman. In the bathroom, child. Trying to squeeze into this dress. And so Nicole was like, Lord, I'm here in this bathroom at the park. The dress is too small. Honey, the buttons was popping off. It was ripping. And she was like, this is not how I envisioned my wedding. Well, it is what it is. And what about when it was time to leave? And Nicole's mama had her wedding dress, the train, and Nicole was walking out of the bathroom like, here comes the bride strut. I said, why is she walking? She was like this. I was like, why is she walking like that? She's in the bathroom. So here she is on her way to meet Tia. Because she is going to get married to her. Allegedly. I guess she is, child. So she's walking to meet Tia. Tia is still worried that Nicole's not going to show up. And then we have Daonte. Daonte done made his way to the park. And Daonte don't know where to go. Because see, he just knows it's in the park. He don't know what area of the park Nicole's getting married. So he's just driving. And then we see the worst editing known to man. We see Daonte's vehicle in a ditch. Daonte trying to get out. It's stuck in the mud. The tires are just spinning. But it's the angle of the vehicle that gets me. Daonte gets stuck in the ditch. It was a deep ditch. How, Daonte, does your car get like this? What didn't you see? As they widened the street, you didn't see no turnaround spot. You didn't see why he was in said ditch. I said, how did he even get there? Nose in, not tail in, nose in. It was like Daonte purposely drove into the ditch. Daonte, did the producers tell you to do that? You mean to tell me that your car ended up in that ditch like that because of you turning around? That don't even make any sense. What were you doing? The car was like that. So here comes the park ranger. Park ranger said, you ain't going to be able to get this out. We're going to have to get a tow. So here comes Daonte. Daonte said, boy, oh boy, this not a sign. Maybe this is a sign to take my dumb ass back home. Maybe somebody's trying to tell me something. You think so, Daonte? But see, Daonte didn't listen to nothing. Because see, Daonte got on that crushed groove velvet jacket and those I Dream a Genie shoes. Honey, he was ready with it. He's going to go regardless because he said either he's going to attend the wedding or he's going to stop the wedding. So here comes the tow truck pulling the car out of the ditch. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with the car. The car is still drivable. It just needed to be out of the ditch. Now, for some reason, there's park rangers there. Instead of Daonte asking the rangers, do you know of a wedding that's going on here? Where do people usually have a wedding? Because, you know, that makes sense. We see Daonte take off walking. Where your car at, Daonte? Because, again, there was nothing wrong with the car. It just needed to be pulled out. Daonte, was your car broke down after that little wreck? Why are you walking? Did y'all get noticed? I was like, why is he walking? Why they needed the dramatics. They needed a cliffhanger. So we see Daonte walking up the road into the backwoods to go to the park. Now, you said that you couldn't find where it was, but all of a sudden you knew where it was. Literally, he was right up the road. That's it, y'all. That's all I got. Y'all know what to do. To my new subscribers, welcome to the family. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, friends,